Hello. Hey, boo, hey. It's time with joy. How are y'all today? Come on in. Get comfortable. Have a seat. Have you missed me? I definitely missed y'all. Definitely missed y'all. You know how we do. We're going to talk about all the things. Yes. Today, we're talking about all the things. We're going to leave nothing out. So get ready. Get ready. So where are you watching from? I want to know. Let me know. Where are you watching from? Put it in the comments. Where are you watching from? And if you are watching this live, I want you to put 1 heart. If you happen to catch the replay, then put 2 hearts later. Yeah. So let me know where you're watching from. So first, I would like to say Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers. All of the fathers. Because we're going to pay tribute to the fathers and father figures in our lives who shower us with unconditional love and support. These men, they shape our character. They help us reach our full potential and believe in us so that we can become ourselves. Today we honor them, their tremendous sacrifice, their unwavering devotion, and their tireless work to build better futures to our families and for our families. This day is celebrated every year to signify the special bond between fathers and their children. Although a father's love is not dependent on one single day, not just one single day celebration, but this day is celebrated across the world to honor all those super dads who keep their children's happiness above everything. There are a lot of super dads out there, a lot of super dads, and we have to honor them. We have to thank them. This day reminds us of the indispensable roles that fathers play in our lives, and so we celebrate the love and dedication of the fathers, stepfathers and grandfathers and uncles and other male figures. The day provides an opportunity for children and other families to express gratitude and love towards their fathers or other father figures, acknowledging their role in nurturing, guiding, and supporting their children. It's a day to reflect the importance of paternal influence in shaping individuals and society as a whole. I myself have to thank all of the people who have influenced my son and helped guiding them, because I have definitely leaned and depended on all of them. My son would definitely not be the man he is today. Neither him or the son I raised. They would not be whom they are today without that guidance and support. Me, when I was a single mother, what am I talking about? I'm still a single mother. But as a single mother, I don't know what I would do without those support systems. Because without a male figure in their life, there are some things mothers just can't do by themselves. They can't. They just can't do those things without a father's presence or a male figure presence. And I am now, as well as he, my son, he is leaning and depending on some of those men, and he has found other men and friends with the same morals to be able to depend on. So again, where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? Let me know. And if you're watching for the first time, put a heart. And if you're watching the replay, put 2 hearts. Now, how do you like to spend time with your dad? And how are you going to spend time with your dad this Father's Day? I loved being for my dad. I loved watching movies with him. We would snug up on the couch, and he loved watching his shoot 'em ups. That's what he called his country and western movies. What was I can't even remember the name of the show right now. Silver, I can't. It was some old cowboy movies. But he would sit on the couch, and I would lay right on his lap, and he would watch his shoot 'em ups. That's what he would call them. And as long as I was right there in his lap, it was fine. And he loved to cook on the grill. When I tell you my dad could cook, I got a lot of tips from him on how to cook on the grill. My stepfather, I loved just riding out with him. My mother loved to sleep in. She slept in all the time. But my dad, my stepfather, he was an early bird. So he would get up and get out in the car, and I would hear him rumbling around, and I would jump out of my bed, and I would just get in the car and ride with him. And that was how I would spend time with him all the time, for me to be able to get that talk with him and bond with him. And that's how I love to spend time with him. So maybe you want to cook with your dad for Father's Day. Maybe you want to plan a movie night. Maybe you want to do some gardening or something around the yard. Work on cars, a memory book, something like that. But that brings me kind of to our topic. What are you fighting for? What do you fight for? I know men a lot of times fight. They fight. And Juneteenth is coming. Juneteenth. Does anyone know what Juneteenth is? What is Juneteenth? But fathers fight for their rights in so many ways, including through the Fathers' Right movement in the United States. This movement provides fathers with support, education, and advocacy on family law. Family law issues such as child custody, child support, access, and domestic violence and child abuse. So many fathers have to fight for a right to see their child and be with their child. They shouldn't have to do that. Now, granted, there are some fathers that don't do right, but there are some fathers that want to be with their child and want to do the right thing. And they should not be denied access to their child and have to fight to do these things. And then domestic violence, sometimes they're wrongly accused. Sometimes they are rightly accused. And then child abuse. Sometimes women, when they're scorned, they can say bad things just to keep them away from the child. And I think that is so, so wrong. So they have to fight. But then you have to make sure that you're doing the right thing, sir. You have to make sure that you are doing the right thing and you are trained up the way that God wants you to be. And there's another threat to your family, and it's you. I should be more specific. It's the flesh. It's the flesh, otherwise known as the sinful nature. We have to recognize this threat within us and fight against it. Romans 6:6 says, we know that our old sinful self was crucified with Christ so that sin might lose its power in our lives. We are no longer slaves to sin. Are you willing to stand against this threat? Satan, the ungodly world, and our rebellious flesh have crossed the line. It's time to say enough, and it's enough, and do something about it, and stand up against the attack. So how do we fight the real enemies and take stand for our families? I want to suggest these 3 things. Number 1, make sure you walk with God daily. Number 2, walk with your family daily. And number 3, walk with God and your family together. Now, Deuteronomy 6:5-9 says, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength. These commandments that I gave to you and give to you are to be on your hearts, and press on them your children. Talk about them when you sit at home, and when you walk along the road, and when you lie down, and when you get up. Tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them on your foreheads. Write them on the door frames of the house and on your gates. So as long as you have God, you can fight anything. Anything. Juneteenth. That's upcoming. Does anyone know what Juneteenth is? It's a holiday celebrated every June 19th to commemorate the emancipation of enslaved people in the United States, which came a full 2.5 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. Did anyone hear that? Did anyone catch that? 2.5 years after the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation. On Freedom's Eve, or the eve of January 1st, 1863, the first watch night service took place. And on that night, enslaved and free African Americans gathered in churches and private homes across all the country, awaiting the news that the Emancipation Proclamation had taken effect. At the stroke of midnight, prayers were answered as all enslaved people in Confederate states were declared legally free. Union soldiers, many of whom were Black, marched onto plantations and across cities in the South, reading small copies of the Emancipation Proclamation, spreading the news of freedom and Confederate states. Only through the 13th Amendment did emancipation and slavery throughout the United States. But not everyone in the Confederate territory would immediately be free. Even though the Emancipation Proclamation was made effective in 1863, it could not be implemented and places still under Confederate control. That's a shame. As a result, in the westernmost Confederate state of Texas, my hometown, y'all, enslaved people would not be free until much later. Freedom finally came on June 19, 1865, when some 2,000 Union troops arrived in Galveston Bay, Texas. The Army announced that the more than 250,000 enslaved Black people in the state were free by executive decree. This day came to be known as Juneteenth by the newly freed people in Texas. Juneteenth marks our country's second Independence Day. Although it has long celebrated in the African American community, this monumental event remains largely unknown to most Americans. This historical legacy of Juneteenth shows the value of never giving up hope in uncertain times, because they fought. They kept the fight. They did not give up the fight that one day they would be free. So what is worth fighting for you? How are you going to celebrate Juneteenth? How are you going to celebrate Juneteenth? One way is you can teach your family about the holiday. You can read books, plan a family feast, visit an African American museum, order from a Black-owned business, or listen to music. Now, there is a song that my mom used to sing, and I never understood it, of course, until I got older. She didn't want to give up the fight. She didn't want to give in. She just wanted strength to be able to fight, to be able to endure, to keep going, just to keep going. But freedom is worth fighting for. And without freedom to speak and act, we have nothing and are nothing. Freedom to speak, especially the accurate truth, is essential to freedom. We will be slaves without freedom to defend ourselves, our family, and our property. Freedom from the many forms of injustice are worth fighting for. There are many things that can be worth fighting for, including personal qualities, positive change, and greater goods. Personal qualities such as honesty, truth, kindness, willingness to learn from mistakes. Have you learned from your mistakes? Positive change, national integrity, and the general good of mankind. And the greater goods, beauty, healing, laughing, poetry, and writing. Fight to make a difference in the world around you. Life has its share of difficulties. Fight to be happy. Fight for love. Fight for change. Fight for your dreams and your goals in life. Fight for what you believe in. And fight for your future. Some say that anything worth having is worth fighting for, even if it's an everyday struggle. Others say that you can use your values and beliefs to guide you, and ask someone you trust for an independent opinion to help you decide if something is worth fighting for. So what is worth fighting for? What is worth fighting for? Why don't you drop in the chat? What do you fight for? What do you fight for? Is it worth it? Is it worth it to you? Do you care what other people think? I think that anything concerning me is worth fighting for. Anything concerning me. My happiness, my peace, my dreams, my goals, my children, my family. Boy, it's a lot. My integrity, my character, my business. What's worth it? What's worth fighting for? What are you fighting for? Whatever it is, just see it through. That's all. I was raised on that phrase, that poem. See it through. See it through. I thank you for joining me. Again, happy Father's Day to everyone. I'll be back next Saturday, same time, 4 p.m., same channel. Hey, it's Time with Joy. Don't forget to subscribe to see more. Push that like button and share with all the fathers that you know and let them know that I said Happy Father's Day. You can follow me on all platforms. Here on YouTube, Hey, it's Time with Joy. Facebook, Bertita Holiday. And on Instagram and TikTok, Joy Tick. Thanks again for coming. I'll see you next time, all right? See you later.